Soon it'll be the beginning of a brand new school year. And when it comes to getting ready, for many it's a case of the haves and have-nots. Next, we'll talk with one group that promises to be there to help foster kids get the tools they need to start school, even if they can't afford it. Next on Comcast Newsmakers. Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Spero Canton. Dr. Oren Wunderman is the executive director of the Family Resource Center of South Florida. He's with us right now to explain how the organization is helping the most vulnerable of our community get ready for back to school. It looks like the school is just over, but now we're planning on back to school.
That's right.
How are families situated right now? How many families out there need this type of security?
Right now, there are about 2,000 foster kids in Dade County who will be going back to school on August 20th. And we at the Family Resource Center will be helping between 350 and 400 of those kids. We want to make sure they have all the supplies that they need. We want to make sure that they're also they've got the clothing that they need so they can go back to school and fit in.
You know, when you talk about school supplies, most of the families out there are saying, well, we have to do that once a year. We have to pick up school supplies. And it would seem sort of trivial as far as the expense is concerned. But in the case of foster kids, this is an acute problem.
It is an acute problem, and you're right. For most families, this would be considered absolutely basic. But the vast majority of these foster kids do not have the basics of pencils, pens, rulers, notebooks. And if they show up to school without those, they're starting off on the wrong foot and they feel ostracized. So we want to make sure that they have all the essentials.
And this affects them psychologically as well as scholastically if they don't have the right tools.
Yes, that's correct. If they go there without the basics, they're going to feel like the odd man out from day one, and that's going to be a problem.
You know, when we talk about foster kids, many of them are leaving their home with literally the shirts on their backs. So they don't have the type of amenities that many kids would have that live in normal homes. So you really have to make good for not only toiletries, but clothing and just the basics for these kids.
Well, that's true. In fact, it's generally the rule that we get these children with nothing more than the clothing on their back. And so we do have to outfit them with all the basic clothing, with the basic shoes, sneakers, toiletries. And while the state of Florida does provide a modest fund for that, it's really not enough for growing kids. So that's why we do appeal to the public for help.
Okay. You take care of how many kids right now?
We take care of between 700 and 725 kids.
And all of them are going back to school?
Well, we figure between 350 and 400 of those kids will be going back to school.
Okay. And when you actually are looking for resources, where do you find them to actually provide these type of supplies for kids?
Well, the state of Florida provides a modest amount,
right,
but it's not enough. BJ's has stepped up with a fair amount of funding, but we do appeal to the public, such as we're doing now, for assistance. People can make even modest donations, which will go a long way.
And we're talking about what's just pens, pencils, notebooks, just the basics.
Just
right?
the basics: pens, pencils, notebooks. Just the things that most families take for granted on day one of school.
I know when this all starts out, there's a big emphasis on going back to school with the right supplies. Do you constantly refurbish these needs as the year goes on?
Yes, we have to do that because, first of all, sometimes the kids move from home to home and the supplies don't always follow them. And also sometimes, like most kids, they lose the stuff, so we have to replenish it.
All right, well, thanks very much, Owen Wunderman. Helping today's kids kick off the new school year with the right tools means making sure they have access to the web at home. Comcast has joined the Broadband Adoption Initiative. To find out more about our program, become a Comcast Newsmakers Florida Facebook friend. I'm Spero Canton. Thank you for joining us.